Is Joby Aviation the Tesla of the skies? Okay guys, so this video we're going to talk about Joby Aviation, ticker symbol JOBY. So this is the first time I mentioned this stock in terms of analysis on this channel. I recently mentioned top growth stocks to buy in my previous video. So if you guys want to see that list of the top 10 stocks I thought were in a good position to buy, please check out that video. I'm going to link to it in the description below. But now I want to talk about Joby. So Joby Aviation is an electric vertical takeoff and landing company, okay? We have a lot of companies, obviously, in the EV space, you know, Tesla, Lucid Motors, Canoe, Archimoto, Rivian, etc., etc. So while there's a lot of capital flooding into that market, we've seen a lot of these stocks trade at super high valuations, okay? Lucid Motors is at 40 billion. Rivian's at 80 billion, okay? Tesla is a massive company, okay? You have a lot of money pouring into these stocks, and then you had a lot of money pouring out of them, and some of the losers, kind of like Lordstown Motors, Canoe. But no one's really talking about the eVTOL stocks. So while the battle is currently being fought on the highway, there's eventually going to be a battle that's fought in the sky. And we're talking about companies that are basically producing aircrafts that will take you from point A to point B. So we're going to talk about this company in depth. It's one of my favorite ones for many reasons in terms of good leadership, okay, backed by some amazing investors that have also been very, very successful in previous investments, a good revenue model, and overall this is going to really help a lot of people save a lot of time. We spend so much time in traffic, especially in bigger cities. It's really going to do a lot of good. So let's get right to the video, guys. Before I get into the video, be sure to smash the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this content, and hit the red subscribe button as well to receive more videos from me. So let's get right into it. Okay, so what exactly is Joby Aviation, guys? Okay, so Joby Aviation, you guys can check out the website yourself. Just head over to jobyaviation.com. But basically what we're looking at here is we're looking at an aircraft, okay? So I want to read a couple of the things on the website to give you guys a quick background of what we're looking at here. So here's a look at the aircraft, okay? So it's a vertical takeoff, electric vertical and takeoff and landing. So basically this is not like an airplane where it needs a big runway and stuff like that, okay? This thing can basically just lift off where it is, similar to a helicopter, but it's like electric, okay? And it has zero emissions, okay? So it can have one pilot and up to 4 riders with 150-mile range, up to 200 miles per hour top speed, and they've been working on this for over a decade. So if you can take a look at this website, I'm going to show you guys some more examples in the investor presentation. Look at how much time it saves, right? So let's say you wanted to go, let's say you guys on the West Coast, you wanted to go from LAX to Newport Beach, right? Now really the only way to get there right now is by car. So if you took a car, okay, the distance is going to take you around an hour, right? But with an eVTOL, it'll only take you about 15 minutes. So you're just saving a ton of time, okay? So basically, it's a quiet aircraft as well, and it's not going to make a lot of noise like an airplane or anything like this. And this is really a brand new space, okay? I think a lot of people aren't familiar with these type of aircrafts. Maybe you've never ridden in a helicopter before. You've probably ridden in an airplane before, but you know the long process. You got to get there early and check in. Takes a long time to get all the bags on the plane. You have to sit there and wait. Then you have to basically taxi on the runway. This takes a long time, okay? This is a little bit different. It's basically booking an electrical eVTOL, getting in the eVTOL, you know, going to where you're going and getting off. This is a much faster, much quicker process, and you're not going to be riding with so many different people in the airplane. It's only going to be a couple of passengers. So now I want to talk a little bit about one of the reasons why. So let's talk about some of the backers that are investing into this company and why I'm so excited about it. So one of the first investors in Joby was Uber, okay? So Uber was basically had a separate subsidiary called Uber Elevate that they ended up selling to Joby, okay? And they took a bunch of money. They took $75 million and they invested in Joby because they believe so much in this company. So that was a big stamp for me. Usually if Uber is going to basically sell you their business and invest in you, that means that you have such a great idea. Uber doesn't see any point in really competing with you. So Uber did the same thing with Didi, okay? They ended up getting a stake in Didi. That's a ride-sharing company. They ended up doing the same thing with Grab. That's the Southeast Asia, Singapore version of Uber. They ended up getting a stake in that. So both of those companies are crushing it. So I'm assuming that Uber's just invested in Joby, saying, hey, we can't really compete with you, so let's just invest in you. This is a great investment. And then another positive bullish statement is an investment by Jeff Skoll. So Jeff Skoll, he was the first employee over at eBay, okay? So this guy is a billionaire. He runs a management firm called Capricorn Investment Group. And one of the things that really jumped off the page at me, if you guys can see this, it says one of Capricorn's early investments was electric car maker Tesla, when it was still private around 2006. So Jeff Skoll, he knew Elon Musk because eBay acquired PayPal, and as you can see here, they said back in 2006, we were looking for ways we could make money and decarbonize. So this Jeffrey Skoll and his investment firm, they ended up investing in Tesla back in 2006 before they even went public. So if they continue to hold their shares, I'm not really sure if they've been holding their shares over these years. That's a ridiculous return on investment, guys. Okay, Tesla now is a massive company, over $700 billion market cap. Whenever they got in 2006, their return on investment is ridiculous. So they're also betting on Joby Aviation, okay? So this is the same guy. He invested in Tesla, okay, very early in Tesla in 2006. It took about 14 years or so, but in 2020 when Tesla stock went through the roof, they made a ton of money. So it also bet on Joby in 2016. So looking at the same timeline, they invested in Tesla in 2006. Tesla took off in 2020. They invested in Joby in 2016. Perhaps Joby takes off in 2030. We'll see. So we're going to look into that a little bit more. I'm going to show you guys some revenue numbers on why we could see a similar thing, why Joby could be the next Tesla. So those are just some bullish catalysts. Let's get into the investor presentation, talk a little bit more. Okay, so you can find all this information on simply Joby Aviation's IR, but basically cities are getting bigger and more congested, and this presentation says that we waste 4.6 billion hours wasted in traffic in the top 15 U.S. metro cities, lots of carbon emissions, and in the future, the majority of the world's population is going to be living in cities. So, obviously, it would make sense to use the air. Aerial ride-sharing unlocks the third dimension of urban transportation, 5 times faster than driving in metro areas, all electric aircraft, 0 emissions, and very scalable as well. So basically, this is just taking into account and all the time that we can save basically using eVTOL. So if you were to drive from Santa Monica to Burbank, it would take you 40 minutes. If you took an eVTOL, it only takes 10 minutes, okay? Downtown LA to LAX, 23-minute drive, 8 minutes in an eVTOL. Same thing with Hollywood to Palm Springs, almost over 2 hours driving, but only 52 minutes with an eVTOL. So I think a lot of people are going to start realizing how much time you're going to save. How much time could you save if you're personally, sitting in traffic hours every day and you can simply take a flight that cuts your travel time in half? I mean, you just unlock so much time and so much productivity because we're spending so much time in vehicles and we're not really productive in them. If we can cut our travel time down, we can really the entire world can move forward, okay? All of the saved time, not being in traffic, can really push forward innovation. It can push forward new companies, and people can spend more time with their families and their loved ones. That's really at the heart of this matter. We want to take back our time. So eVTOLs are going to help us do that. So I'm not going to go too in-depth in this presentation. It's pretty long, but I just wanted to show you guys a couple of key things. So if we go to near the end of it, okay, so I wanted to show you guys exactly how this will work. So Joby has their own app where you can actually book an eVTOL, and it's basically going to have a map. And then they've also partnered with Uber as well. So you'll be able to book using the Joby app, but also if you're using the Uber app, they partner, so you'll be able to book it on Uber as well. And this is actually a really bullish catalyst for Uber stock as well, one of my favorite stocks and one of the stocks I plan to retire with. But Joby is in a great position, very short, very easy to remember, only 4 letters, just very brandable. And I really think that this company is going to become like the Tesla of the eVTOL stocks. Just really, really bullish all the way. So if you take a look here at the economics, they're using kind of a similar, basically, revenue and projection as you would see with an airline. They have the revenue per available seat mile, then the cost per available seat mile, and they're planning to charge around $3 per seat mile. So the good thing about eVTOLs is that they don't have to spend a lot of money on fuel. So traditionally people said airlines are bad investments because a lot of that is due to the fuel cost. So with eVTOLs, there isn't that cost. So they'll be able to be profitable a lot faster, I think. And that's one of the reasons why I think a lot of people are heavily investing into these vehicles. So if we take a look here at some of these, I want to show you guys some of the scalable costs. So as you can see here, as they continue to produce more and more aircraft, this is going to drive costs down. This we're seeing similar with Tesla. Okay, it looks like Tesla's profit margins are increasing the more vehicles they make. So great investor base. Okay, Toyota, backed by Toyota, Uber, Intel, JetBlue, and also BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, Fidelity, and also I mentioned Jeff Scroll. He invested in Tesla back in 2006 before it even went public. So all the people invested here, looks like this is going to do very, very well. This looks like this could be another massive, massive opportunity. And then I also want to give you guys some revenue projections. So they actually have a full presentation. I'm going to link to it. But I just wanted to quickly show it for time's sake to keep this video fairly short. So it says here that Joby is projected to earn around $2 billion in turn of profit by 2026. That's approximately 4 to 5 years. That they'll have $2 billion revenue. And by around 2030, they should do around $20 billion in revenue. So with 14,000 aircrafts flying in 20 cities. So great numbers around the board. I really think that Joby stock has a ton of upside, guys. So now let's talk a little bit about potential price projections and where we could be looking in terms of revenue and market cap and stuff like that. Okay, so let's just quickly, so what we're quickly looking at here is we're looking at a company that's about a $7 billion company. Okay, very, very early in these stages. So if we're looking for basically Joby to hit around, I would say, according to their projections, okay, they said they're going to do $2 billion in revenue by 2026. Okay, most of these eVTOL stocks like Tesla and a lot of them are valued basically around a price to sales ratio of like 15 to 20. So if we use let's say 20, obviously some companies are projected for more, but let's say 20, right? So starting at 20, if they were able to do $2 billion in annual revenue within the next 4 to 5 years, Joby Aviation could potentially be sitting at a $40 billion market cap. So if we're looking at $7 billion, then basically this company right here has around, a simple 5 to 6x upside just based on the revenue. Now, if they turn profitable like they imagined, we saw simply with Tesla. When Tesla went profitable, the stock went through the roof. So, like I said, this is very early stages. This was a SPAC with RTP at initial price of $10. Now the stock's just sitting at $12. I think this is really an excellent opportunity. It just seems like all the ducks are lining up. Okay, obviously, obviously backed by great investors, smart people. Follow the money trail. Okay, we've got basically an industry that is untouched, doesn't get a lot of attention by Wall Street, doesn't get a lot of attention by retail investors like you and me. Obviously it's going to solve a big problem. It's going to save us time. Sitting in traffic is such a hassle, and the worst part about it is that you're unproductive and you're not spending time with your loved ones while you're sitting in traffic, going to work, going to school, and stuff like that. And then the last thing is that I think this is a game changer. I think you're going to see a lot of people say, hey, I want to book a Joby. You're going to see Uber using a Joby, integrating them into their app. A lot of people are going to say, well, why do I want to sit in traffic? I'll just take a Joby. So this could become another verb, another, Joby, or this could become enough. So Joby could become a popular noun in our vernacular. You could see, just like people say, book me an Uber, or Google it, we could say, book me a Joby. So, I think this is a great investment. If that happens, we could see this stock absolutely soar. So with just 5 to 6x upside, we're looking at a stock price of around perhaps maybe $60 to $70 within the next couple of years. If Joby hits a $20 billion in revenue, we could be looking at a massive, massive valuation here by the end of this decade, maybe even at $500 billion, which means that Joby stock could trade as high as $1,000. I mean, the potential's there. The backing's there. Everything's there. We just need to see them execute. And another thing that I'm going to tell you guys is really interesting about Joby is that, once again, I want to follow the money trail. And when I mean follow the money trail, it's simply that a great example with Tesla is that Elon Musk has such a large percentage of Tesla shares that you could basically have tracked Tesla's stock performance based on his net worth. Okay, so the richer and richer Elon Musk got, the richer and richer Tesla shareholders got. So I'm seeing a similar trend with Joby already. Okay, so here's an article posted on August 25th. It says Electric Aviation launches its first billionaire, Joby founder Joe Ben Beaver. So this is the founder and CEO. So once again, another good sign. Okay, any company that's usually led by a founder like Tesla, Amazon, usually outperforms the broader market, historically. So as you can see here, it says Beaver, 47 years old, now owns a fortune of $1 billion. Okay, so according to this, he says he owns nearly 100 million shares. There's about 600 million shares outstanding. Okay, so I found these numbers. I simply went to Market Watch. 600 million shares outstanding. So he owns about 16% of the stock. So he's highly invested into this company. It's already made him a billionaire, and the company hasn't even really started making revenue, and that is projected to happen in about 2024. So I want to show you guys the quick, as the CEO, as his fortune increases, we should see the similar effect what happened with Tesla stock. As Elon Musk got richer, his shareholders got richer together. So it was this whole network effect. Okay, so here's a timeline. So it's very early in terms of Joby's future. Okay, they're expecting to launch their commercial service in 2024, so there is still time to accumulate the stock. So I'm really going to be watching this situation closely. I really think all the ducks are lined up here. This is an excellent investment opportunity. So now it's just about basically building up a stake and just waiting for the world to wake up to eVTOLs, waiting for more money, more institutional, more retail investors to see that, hey, this is a great company, great product, saves a lot of time. This is the future. Let's get on board. So $6 billion, $7 billion market cap. I think it's super early. I think a realistic stock price in the future for Joby would probably be around $50 to $60. Probably after a year or two, once operations get started. Who knows? Maybe by the end of this decade, this could be a $1,000 plus stock, and we start using Joby in our vernacular. Hey, book me a Joby. Anything could happen. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed my analysis, please smash the subscribe button and hit the like button as well. Let me know what you think about Joby. I think it's an excellent investment opportunity. I'm really going to be watching this one closely. So that's it. Until next time, guys. Take care.